It's one thing to have a possession of a firearm. AKs are illegal in the state of California. They're not DA rejecting that. But what I'm telling you is it was never picked up by the state. The feds are holding it. He knew it. Only thing I'm doing is going over what he's saying.
So you think that he's a federal informant?
I think he's definitely working.
Wack 100 exposes Bricc Baby. Big time. This is Fresh Hip Hop Opinion with your guy Olize. Don't forget to subscribe. So yes, Wack 100 is at it again, people. He was on the Adam and Wack show and he decided to speak about his old nemesis Bricc Baby. Now Bricc and Wack have been going back and forth online for a long time now, probably over a year. And strangely enough, these two have never even met before, but they've had a tirade of attacking each other's gangster. In recent times though, they kind of made up. It seemed like they were actually being cool. Wack has made multiple references that he has spoken to Bricc Baby a couple times and even given him advice. As DJ Academics invited Bricc Baby to his streaming platform. But guess what? He also invited Wack 100, Loose Cannon, and 600, and they all went at it live on stream. And they're all basically just trying to expose Bricc. But like I said, Wack 100 and Adam 22 were speaking about Bricc Baby on the Adam and Wack show. And Wack exposes more about Bricc lying about his legal cases. Check it out.
Bricc Baby wants to blame me.
For what?
Because I'm just simply going over the things he said. He lied.
About what?
You seen the work, right?
No.
He came on it. First of all, the most dumbest thing he did was even get in the box and let me ask him questions.
Right.
Stay away from me.
You invaded Academic stream to harass him.
No, I asked questions.
Okay.
He told us he had a DA reject in Compton Court for the AK-47. So you know what I did? I called Mr. Reggie Wright. Reggie, he said, Wack, I got a few DAs down there. He goes, his first, last name, date of birth, whatever, January, whatever, 86, right? Great. Reggie goes and runs it, comes on my YouTube, on the Honey Show, and says, ran it on that date, the only charge he was arrested for that the state charged him with was possession of, the AK-47 was not charged on the state side, which means he said himself it was two agencies. I didn't say it. The feds and LAPD. That means it's on the fed side. So why would you tell me out of your mouth you got a DA reject for AK-47 out of Compton Court when you know darn well that you was never charged with on the state side? The feds have it.
But isn't that the DA reject thing?
It's one thing to have a possession of a firearm. AKs are illegal in the state of California. They're not DA rejecting that. But what I'm telling you is it was never picked up by the state. The feds are holding it. He knew it. Only thing I'm doing is going over what he's saying.
So you think that he's a federal informant?
I think he's definitely working.
Yeah, fam. It seems like Bricc has kind of dug himself a little hole. Maybe a big hole. We all know he's got weapon charges. And according to Wack, Bricc has said out of his own mouth that it was not a Fed case. But Wack confirmed with Reggie Wright on Bomb First that it must be. So it means that Bricc does have a federal weapons charge against him, which he's denied, which does look a bit fishy, I must say. What makes it bad for Bricc is that he has said this out of his own mouth. This isn't Wack putting two and two together. It's not looking good for him right now. But in this next clip, I'm going to play you where Wack is saying that he has a guy who can also expose Bricc Baby. And he's from 6-0. Check it out.
And we got a wild card that's coming in a couple days.
What's that?
As soon as they get to where they need to be, they're going to call in. The day they kicked in the doors and picked up the OTF guys, they kicked in his door right here in Los Angeles.
Okay.
To pick him up, only he wasn't at Mama's house.
Where was it at?
He was somewhere in the streets. But his tie to that was through your guy. And the only way they're going to know about him is through your guy because he never personally went and met them. But this him says, I know what I provided and what was purchased.
So you think that this guy is going to ultimately prove that Bricc Baby is a snitch in this whole thing? Oh wait, do you think?
And he from 6-0.
The work that you've put out there so far hasn't really.
First of all, you know he's the first one said it. He said it over there with Flacco. You said it. We didn't say it. We thought it was a bad drug deal. You said it. Then the dummy bozo, he heard us applying the pressure over there on with Act and tells us the search warrant was for electronics. So see, we thought it was just a gun. They came for electronics and stumbled up on. This coming out of his mouth. He talked too much. He shouldn't be talking. That's all I'm doing. He lied. He said he had a DA reject come to court. Reggie Wright pulled it up. He said, Wack, they ain't had the gun case. It's not with them. It's over there with the feds. It ain't with them. He had a case charged with that day.
Yeah, fam. So Wack is just lining up people to just bury Bricc Baby. But let's keep it real. Bricc has had this weapon charge over him for a long time now. He never goes to court. And it just seems to just be there. He seems to be doing illegal substances, should I say, on camera. And when have you ever heard of somebody who has a Fed charge on them and they can just be doing illegal substances? You normally got to do some sort of test to make sure you're not taking anything. Unless you are an informant. I think like Wack said, Bricc Baby would be better off just not saying anything. Not explaining himself at all. Because when he does, seems to be putting himself in hot water. It is sad though, because I like Bricc Baby. He's a funny guy, he's a likable guy. I think he just walks the line of the street guy and the podcaster guy, and it's not working. You gotta choose a side, bro. You can't be a podcast gangster. That's what Taxstone was doing, and look where he's at. Doing 30 some odd years. It'll be interesting to see what happens next after this. Brick's gotta explain and explain and explain, and Wack's gonna keep coming. Because you know when Wack's got content, he stays on it. But that's just my opinion. I want to know yours. Leave a comment below, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. This is Fresh Hiphop Opinion. Peace and love.
It's one thing to have a possession of a firearm. AKs are illegal in the state of California. They're not DA rejecting that. But what I'm telling you is, it was never picked up by the state. The feds are holding it. He knew it. Only thing I'm doing is going over what he's saying.
So you think that he's a federal informant?
I think he's definitely working.